At 63 years old, Kimberly decided to start a YouTube channel. A lot of women her age might think, YouTube isn't for me, I'm too old, oh, that ship has sailed, but not Kimberly. And when she started her YouTube channel, she had a vision for what she wanted. And she stuck with that vision. And a few years later, she's at 188,000 YouTube subscribers with a thriving community and a whole new career. In this interview, Kimberly discusses her rise to success on YouTube as somebody over 60 and all of her tips and strategies that have helped her grow so quickly on YouTube. Hello, my name is Erika Vieira. I'm a YouTube strategist and coach, having helped hundreds of women behind the scene through my Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp, my one-on-one YouTube coaching, and my strategic channel management. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I come out with new interviews weekly where my guests and I pull back the curtain to reveal what it's really like to be successful on YouTube. Enjoy this interview. Mwah. Well, hello, Kimberly. Welcome to the show.
Well, I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm so glad we made it work. We had a few technical difficulties, but we are here and we are going to deliver. So, Kimberly, why don't we start off with you sharing with me what inspired you to get onto YouTube and when was that specifically?
Gosh, I started my channel a little under 2.5 years ago, and it was really kind of a fluke. There was a lot of issues in my life that led me to do it. And I just woke up one morning and knew that my skin was in horrible condition. I hadn't taken care of it all my life. And I thought, well, I wonder if I can fix it. Then I sort of connected the thoughts of, I had been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I thought, well, what if I did a channel where I investigated whether I could actually fix my skin. And so that's kind of how it launched. And once I thought about the concept, it was almost like I couldn't not do it. It was just something that I had to do. And so I launched in.
And how old were you when you launched your channel?
I was 62 then. I'll be 65 this month.
Wow. So talk about a whole nother career in life. What were you doing prior to doing YouTube?
Well, I had already had a full career. I originally started my career as an illustrator and designer for the gift and paper products industry. So I spent a lot of time just illustrating and creating products. Then I realized, because I had always managed my own licensing and contracts with my business, that I'd learned a lot about the business. And so I decided to take that knowledge, and I opened up an agency where I represented other artists, including myself, and became an agent in the gift and paper products industry for the licensing of illustrations. So I was in that industry, Erika, for like over 35 years. So it was a lot of fun, but unfortunately, the business dynamics changed in that industry, and it really kind of fell apart. So it wasn't nearly as much fun or nearly as lucrative, and I just sort of drifted out of it.
Wow. So how many years prior to starting your YouTube channel did you end that career?
It had been about 6 or 7 years, and it was kind of died a slow death, and it just got to the point where it really wasn't a viable career anymore.
Yeah. I'm sure you were happy for the break, after working for that long, and you had a break. But were you kind of itching to do something else?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
No, I wasn't. And to be honest with you, it wasn't as though I really sat down and thought I need to come up with a new career and then looked at my options and decided YouTube was it. It was just a matter of a lot of forces came together, and I thought, I could do that YouTube channel. There was a lot of benefits for me besides building a business, which, to be honest with you, I never intended to build the business. It wasn't as though I thought I can do this and create a business and generate income. That was the furthest thing from my mind. I actually just thought it would be fun and engaging and helpful for me. And I thought it might answer some questions for other women my age. But one thing I can say is that because I had owned my own business for so long, once I made the decision, I saw the vision of the business fully formed. It's like I saw it all together. I saw what the driving factors were going to be. I saw what the concept behind my channel could be. And it was very easy then for me to move forward because it was fully developed in my mind.
Was this vision prior to you even getting onto YouTube? It was just in like the conceptualization of actually doing it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was even before I owned a camera. I just decided that I was going to do it, and then I just started putting together the pieces. And fortunately, because I had run my own business, I was really, really clear on that it was all going to come down to me and to my actions. And I knew how to put it together because I had been marketing and promoting for decades.
Yeah.
So it just sort of came together, to be honest with you. No one is more surprised than me that it's doing well.
What did that vision look like for you?
You know, it wasn't so much what I saw was what I could create and control on my end. In other words, what fully formed for me was all the actions that I needed to take in order to build the framework to create content that was, I felt, going to be meaningful. So it wasn't though, I never thought I would get a channel this size. And particularly not in the amount of time that I've been at it. What I did see was everything that I needed to do to put it together to give it as best a shot as possible.
Yeah. And when you started your channel, did you have any experience or knowledge with the tech side of things?
You know, I probably had more than most, which was of a benefit because I had worked in illustration and graphic design for over 40 years, all told. Putting together the thumbnails, doing that sort of thing was very, very easy for me because I had been doing that for decades, you know, with designing things. What was a little bit more difficult was the camera. And I honestly, to this day, what I know how to do is turn the camera on and off. That's about it.
You and me both.
I know how to do just enough to do what I'm doing. Yeah. And I have exactly the same equipment today that I started with.
Yeah.
In other words, I have the same camera, I have the same lights. The only difference is I have moved and I have a dedicated filming room now with more light in it.
Oh, good for you.
Other than that, you know, when I first started, I was living in a tiny, tiny little studio right overlooking the ocean in Northern California. Honestly, it was tiny. And I had a card table with a sheet behind me on the wall and my camera, and that was it. I mean, it's laughable the way that I started my channel. So there we have it, you know.
Did you know when you first started that you were gonna jump into this niche of skincare and beauty?
I knew because I had a blog.
Oh, okay.
In between the business that I walked away from, I had a blog called 50 Jewels for women over 50. And I had built that blog myself. I built the website and did all that. So I did have some technical skills. There were a few things that I had to learn as far as working with a camera and uploading files. And I had to learn how to edit, which I did. So it was a learning curve, but to be honest with you, I needed something in my life then to do. I needed a new project. I needed something to be engaging. So I understood the power of keywords. I understood the power of being focused and niched down. And when I first started, I knew that over 50 were going to be my most important keywords, and they have been. So almost every video that I have posted since the beginning of my channel has included over 50 because I wanted to target that market. And I'd also done, I was a YouTube beauty consumer before I was a content creator. And I watched Angie from Hot and Flashy. I used to go to her channel to get makeup recommendations. And for years, I watched her channel grow And I kept waiting for someone else to come up and enter that market. And I couldn't believe that no one else was doing it. And so when I decided to start my channel, I'm a little more skincare focused, I think, than Angie might be. I knew exactly the market that I was targeting. I was really clear on that.
Yeah, and that served you well.
It ended up serving me well, yes.
So take us back to your first video that you uploaded. What video was it? Why did you decide to do that topic? And how were you after it went live?
Well, that's funny. And, you know, gosh, if you want to pull up some clips from when I first started, I don't know. We all start where we all start. I mean, when people say just begin, I cannot stress it enough, because even though I went into it with a background in marketing and a background in presentation and presenting to an audience, my first videos were just kind of sad. I think the first couple I have taken down. No, the very first one there is, I think, lipstick or something. And the funny thing is that even though I understood a few things, it just takes a while to get comfortable on camera, to get the angle right, to get just to get it all right. And, you know, when I first posted my first few videos, my daughter, she was like, alrighty then, you know, she wasn't that impressed. And I said, no, I can do this. I really can do this. I'll get better, I promise.
Yeah.
And I think I have gotten a little bit better over time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, you know, with YouTube, it's practice, and practice is more uploading and uploading again and again and again. So when did your channel start to get some traction and take off? Did it take a while, or did it happen right away?
You know, it didn't happen right away. It was probably about almost a year in. And I was growing, you know, for a beauty channel, particularly for my age group. I think our demographic, while it's powerful, I think it's a little bit smaller than the demographic of, let's say, 20 to 40-year-olds. Mm-hmm. It was about a year in, and I had done a video on face shaving, and not thinking anything of it, just deciding that it was an interesting topic and women my age might be interested in it. And so I did this video, and about, oh gosh, it didn't get a lot of views right away, but I think maybe 45 to 60 days in, YouTube picked it up. Mm-hmm. And once you hit that algorithm with YouTube, all you do is sit back.
It's momentum.
It is momentum. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that algorithm can really make or break your channel. You know, it's once you put those boxes in that algorithm, then, you know, everything is golden from there.
Yeah, it makes or breaks it. You're right. I mean, the people that are at a position where you're at with several 100,000 subscribers up to 1 million, it's because the algorithm has picked up their videos. Why do you think that particular video was one that did so well and went viral the way it did?
You know, Erika, I wish I had the answer to that. I really don't know, because there are lots of videos on face shaving on YouTube. I'm not quite sure. It must have been there was enough comments with enough views, with enough clicks on the thumbnail, that it just hit that golden formula and it took off. And I even see now, right now, YouTube is not pushing it out, but it ebbs and flows. Sometimes I see it goes back to being pushed out, and I'll get a lot of comments on that video, and then it quiets down again. So it's just, it's all in the algorithm.
And at that point, when that video started to take off, did you see your other videos take off at the same time?
I saw my whole channel take off. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I picked up, and I'm just trying to recall because this was a while ago, I think I picked up 30 or 40,000 subscribers in a month. I mean, it was really, really quick. And what that did is, I think it allowed other women in the over 50 category to find me. Mm-hmm. Up until then, you know, it can be a little hard to find certain creators on YouTube, if they don't pop up in search, you're just not ever going to see them.
Yeah. Where were you in subscribers prior to that video going viral?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Maybe 15,000 or something. I don't even really remember that because I was still pretty new in the whole YouTube content creating thing. And every day was a new adventure of trying to figure it out. So I wasn't really catching on that I had a video that was going viral. I just noticed that my subscriber count was really going up, and I still probably don't have the savvy that I should have as far as looking at my analytics and finding out what's working, what's not working. I just do things that I think sound good.
You go by instinct.
Pretty much. But, I do use TubeBuddy. I use TubeBuddy a lot. But at this point now, I can come up with titles and concepts that I know are as good as they're going to get for that subject matter. I really don't even use TubeBuddy anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm the same way. Like, I'll use it every now and then, but once you've been doing it for so long, you have an instinct. You just kind of know what's going to work.
Yeah.
But that comes with practice. So how often do you upload onto your channel?
Yeah, that's a really good question. When I first started, I was extremely consistent, 2 videos a day. Or
a day?
Oh. Sorry.
Oh my God.
2 videos a week.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll go through periods where I'll just want to do more because it's just fun and I just want to get the information out there. I'm in one of those right now that there's just so much to talk about with all the sales and all the new releases and the holidays and stuff. I'm posting about 4 videos a week this month and probably will into Christmas as well. So bare minimum 2 a week, and it goes up from there depending on, my mood and what is there to talk about.
Are you finding that by uploading more, it helps your channel grow?
No, and that's really funny. I have found it's almost as though my viewers have a threshold for how much content that they can really digest in a week. I don't seem to get more views or more revenue if I do 4 videos or 2 videos. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe I'm not looking at the right numbers or the right stats, but it doesn't seem to really make a difference. However, what I can say is if you're looking at YouTube as an income or as a business, an income generating business, which is not why I started this, but it's turned into that. The most viewed videos are not necessarily the most profitable. Because if I'm talking about a particular topic that is product specific, that could end up making or generating more income than a video with higher views with a less product-driven result or solution. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And is that because of affiliates associated with that, or is it the AdSense is higher, or why is that specific?
It generally has to do with if the affiliate commission is based on that product. So if I do a video with one particular product that you need that particular product in order to get the results, that will be a higher generator because it's an easy, specific answer for the viewer. They can go out and buy that $15 product and start working on getting the results that happen for me. And that can generate a lot more revenue than maybe just answering your skincare questions video where it's not as specific.
So that is interesting that you said that uploading more doesn't give you more AdSense revenue. I would think it would.
I would too. And yeah. I'm not sure why that is. I'll probably keep an eye on it. Do, it seems like as time goes on, I love this. I love doing this more and more and more. And I really do like creating content and I would like to create more. So, we'll see. We'll see if I notice a spike in, creating more content.
What types of videos are that you know do the best for your channel?
You know, I think that women my age specifically are really interested in skincare. And they're really interested in how do you get your skin in a little better condition, particularly when you're older. So the questions on my channel are 90% skincare. They're very, very interested in it. They're interested in what products I use, how I use them, what order I use them in, whether I'm still using them, what devices I'm using, that sort of thing. There is really very, very, very little information out in the marketplace on at-home, effective, affordable anti-aging skincare because no one's really doing it. I mean, I don't know that there's another channel, at least that I haven't seen one where someone with really, really bad looking skin, like my skin was when I first started, goes through the whole process of seeing what you can actually do with your skin. I know that, you know, Angie certainly has changed her skin condition over the years. I don't know that that was really the focus for her. In other words, she didn't present with skin that had been neglected. She looked great at the beginning of her channel. She looks great now.
Yeah.
You know, my skin looked horrible. And, you know, viewers really can come to my channel and go through every video and see a very slow, very steady progression to healthier and healthier and healthier looking skin. And I haven't seen another channel on YouTube that documents that so clearly.
And that does do well on YouTube in different niches. You see it a lot in weight loss and fitness journeys where people start off and they're at a certain, you know, body shape, and then they have this goal, and then they take people with them. You see it in a lot of different niches. I think skincare, you know, your age, I think that concept is brilliant. And like you said, it sounds like you're one of the only ones doing it. So it definitely makes sense that people really related to that because maybe they're in the same boat as you and said, you know what, Kimberly is inspiring me to put my skin as a priority. And maybe they hadn't. So I think that's amazing.
Well, the thing that I found out, which I think it shocked me, this I have learned along with my audience the whole time because I knew nothing about skincare at the beginning. My skin looked like it. And I've learned so much over the course of time. And it's surprising to me, first of all, how easy it's been. And when I say easy, it doesn't mean it's quick. If you want quick, you got to go to a plastic surgeon. You know, that's quick. But it was really easy. It just took time. And it's so much more affordable than I ever would have imagined. And that was one of the criteria when I started my channel. I was very specific. It had to be something you could do at home, and it had to be affordable as possible, because I didn't want cost to be a barrier. I wanted everyone that came to my channel to be able to say, I can fit that in. I can do that. Because if you have a ton of money, you can do anything. You know, you can go get plastic surgery. You can go to get a facial every week. I wanted this to be accessible to as many people as possible if it worked, because I didn't even know if it was going to work when I first started.
Yeah, I love that. What surprised you the most about YouTube?
Well, to be honest with you, that it's turned into, you know, the business that it's turned into. That was not a goal. My goal was to see, can I fix my skin? And there might be some other women that might find this interesting and useful. Those were my goals. And it was to really, I needed something to do at that particular time. You know, I thought this will be good for me. And it never dawned on me that it would turn into the business it's turned into, which has made it just even, you know, all the more fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we're nearing the end of the interview, and I'm going to ask you the same 10 questions that I ask everybody that comes onto the show. So it's kind of like a rapid fire, and just answer with the first thing that comes to mind. So, okay. The first question is, what is your number one struggle with YouTube?
Oh gosh, I suppose editing. Editing is probably my least favorite.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's time consuming, and it's,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
Mhm.
What is well, let me ask you, how long does it take you to edit one video?
Generally about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Editing is just the beginning. You got to edit it, then you have to create the thumbnail, then you've got to pull the links, then you've got to upload it, then you've got to do all this stuff. I mean, there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes other than filming.
What is your highest viewed video and how much AdSense revenue did you make from it?
The highest viewed video is that face shaving video. And I'll tell you what, if I had known then what I know now, how many people had watched me shave my face, I don't know if I would have done it. It's got 1.6 million views now. And I think the revenue over that period of time, which has been about a year and a half, 2 years, it's been about $15,000. So, when you think about all those people that have seen it, I don't think $15,000 is that much. So it's not as though, AdSense is, that much of an income earner.
Well, you have to say, I don't know if I would have done it, but then if you wouldn't have done that video, you wouldn't be where you're at right now with your channel. So,
right. Yeah.
So, there's something about it that just hit YouTube gold for you. So, if you were to start your channel over right now, what would you do differently?
Nothing. I do have to say, because I'd had so much experience running my own business and marketing other people's, artwork, I understood what it took to get something out there. And I do look back and think that I did a very good job as far as niching down and staying focused on, what I was doing. So I wouldn't really do anything differently. Maybe start sooner.
Yeah. A lot of people have that as an answer. So what is your favorite video you've created that's on your channel?
Oh, I'll have to say my results video. I just did a 2-year results video about 4 months ago. And I love those because I feel like if you're an over 50 woman who wants to take care of your skin, it gives you so much good information and so much solid results. And you can see what my skin looked like then, you can see what my skin looked like now. And it's not my skin, it's anybody's skin. And I think that those videos are so jam-packed full of really good information that anybody can take and utilize. And I get so many women say, I've started using your routine. I can't believe how affordable it is. And it's 8 weeks in and people are commenting on my skin. So those are the ones, because that's gold. That's information gold right there.
And how did the video perform for you?
It's performed okay. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe over 100,000 views now. It's been a few months. It's not like it just took off, but what I can say is I know that so many people have got such good information from that video, and that makes me feel, like, job well done.
Yeah, it's a success.
Mm-hmm.
Any video you created on your channel that you were particularly excited about, but it just bombed? It didn't do well.
Oh, yeah. I did a video, I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be so helpful about, makeup mistakes for over 50 women. And Erika, you're young, you're gorgeous, you're not there yet.
Thank you.
What happens when you get older is your skin changes and it moves, and you have weight in areas that you didn't have before. And the way that I have to do my makeup now is so different because I have to place it differently and do it differently. So I did this video on makeup mistakes, and I thought this is going to really be so helpful. It's going to go lots of views and this and that, and it didn't.
Oh.
And I think, I look back and I think it was probably the thumbnail wasn't as inviting as it could be. So maybe I should just go back and change it.
I was like, you can always change a thumbnail. That's easy to change.
I know, it's one of those on my to-do list and not his to-do list,
Yeah. It's like buried way down on that list, and everything else is getting on top of that list.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the biggest opportunity you got as a result of your YouTube channel?
Well, I'll have to say the opportunity, of course, the opportunity to connect with these women who are looking for information and to be someone that I think I really can answer that and be helpful because I've done it. I've done it. I know where you're at. This is what worked for me, or this is what didn't work for me. That's a great opportunity. But when it comes to kind of getting my ego stroked a little bit or getting a little bit of titillation, when I got contacted by L'Oreal to do a multi-series sponsorship with them.
Wow.
And it was just maybe a little over a year into my channel. I just thought, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that, it's like, clearly I work with a lot of companies now, and I'm very selective, as we all are. Anybody I think that has a channel that really, gets out good information is very selective about who they work with. There was just something about L'Oreal because they're
iconic.
Yeah.
They've been around forever.
It was kind of a thrill.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a cool opportunity. What is your superpower that has led to your success?
That is such a good question. I'll tell you what my superpower is I will always figure it out. I will always figure it out, and I will figure out a way to have fun doing it no matter what. Because if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. I don't suffer in life. In other words, I'm not going to suffer through and then say I did it. I'm not going down that road. Yeah. I'm going to figure out, and I'm going to have fun doing it. So there we have it.
I love that. And what is the number one piece of advice that you would tell someone who is just starting out on YouTube, or maybe they're watching you and they're so inspired and they want to start a channel?
My number one piece of advice would be to be very, very clear on what it is you're doing. Why are you doing the channel? What are you going to be talking about? How are you going to talk about? Who are you going to help? How are you going to help them? In other words, when you start your channel, know exactly what it is you're doing. If you're going to crochet, then make sure that you're reaching out to beginning crocheters and you're going to walk them through the process step by step. Same thing with weight loss, same thing with skincare or beauty. Just be extremely clear on what it is you're doing.
I love that. Well, great advice, Kimberly. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was such a pleasure talking to you and getting to know you a little bit better.
It's lovely to talk with you as well. I've been watching you for a long time. I've been stalking you. You're a delight.
Oh, thank you. I love hearing that. Well, now I have you on the show, and everyone's going to enjoy this interview. I know it. So for people that aren't familiar with you and your channel, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Pretty Over 50. You can find me on Instagram at Pretty Over 50, and I'll be there waiting for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that interview and you learned a lot from it. Now, if you have a YouTube channel or considering starting a YouTube channel that you're serious about growing and you want the best of the best when it comes to personalized feedback, advice, and up-to-the-minute YouTube strategy, then consider my Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp for Women. I have been running this bootcamp since 2018, and we have hundreds upon hundreds of very successful students that have gone through the program. And I can go on and on about the YouTube Bootcamp, but I want you to hear it directly from some of the women themselves.
I feel so lucky that I got to do Erika's bootcamp.
Before I joined the bootcamp,
Before joining Erika's bootcamp,
my channel was all over the place. I didn't know what I was talking about.
I would hear people say that I need to find my why and my voice and my audience and understand my target audience, but I never felt like I really understood what that meant.
Erika helped me come up with YouTube video ideas. She helped me with consistency. She helps me to interpret my analytics.
I started with 12,000 subscribers and now I have over 50,000 and it is growing rapidly.
My channel has grown almost 100,000 subscribers.
I definitely wouldn't have gotten to this place in such a short amount of time without Erika's bootcamp.
What makes Erika special is that she has been talking to and analyzing YouTube channels for years, and that has given her this bank of knowledge to pull from.
I'm constantly asking her questions about YouTube. I'm asking her advice about my YouTube channel.
Taking the Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp was one of the best
decision I could have ever made for myself, for my channel, for my own personal growth as a human being. I could not be happier.
I love that it has reinvigorated me in such a beautiful way. So I am so happy that I've joined.
You're crazy not to hire her. Get on it. All right.